Open Your Eyes is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning and welcome to OIE Escapes. We are coming to you live again here at the Old Belize Museum. It's such a beautiful scenic space for persons who are looking to go back in time, really. So we want to say thank you to the folks at Old Belize for having us take a bit of a tour across the country.
You're looking lovely this morning.
Thanks, Paul. So are you. Thank you
so
for getting
much.
the memo. You got my text when I said,
yeah.
oh, we're purple.
Purple.
Yeah, purple.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. I know that there's still quite a few talks about the fire situation, the smoke situation. Thankfully, I can say in my neck of the woods where I live, the smoke has kind of dissipated a bit, so it's a little bit clearer to see. It's also easier to breathe, but I know that there's still quite a few talks about the fire situation.
And it feels as if the heat has kind of decreased a bit.
Mm-hmm.
A bit.
Just a tad bit,
just a tad
but we
bit.
feel it.
Of course, but we feel it because with the extreme heat and extreme temperatures over the last couple of weeks, you can't miss how hot it was. So 1 or 2 degrees lower is felt and is appreciated.
Absolutely.
But as you said, Sabrina, jumping right into what's buzzing this morning, smokes and fires. And we're not talking about up this side in the Belize district or in Corozal or in the Orange Walk district. We're talking about all the way down in the Toledo district, where our residents down that side in those communities, rural areas, are really feeling the hit, the brunt of the fires taking place down there. And this has been persistent fires, persistent smoke for the past week or so, a couple weeks. And so yesterday, we did a story in our newscast, a fire story, actually led our newscast, where we heard from a wide range of individuals, including the Deputy Commander of the Belize Defense Force, Colonel Vasquez, as well as the chairman of San Pedro, Colombia, the community that has been severely affected by this fire. In fact, according to the chairman, Mr. Choco, up to 50 farmers have been severely affected by this fire. He's saying that at least 70% of farmlands have been destroyed in San Pedro, Colombia. Now, if you want to put that into perspective for these urban areas, it's like you've invested in a building for your business, and that building gets burnt to the ground with all the assets inside. That's putting things into perspective there. And so for these farmers, this is really devastating.
That's their livelihood,
That's
Paul.
their livelihood.
And I think that's such an important point that you mentioned there. We think of all these farmlands and we think to ourselves, the first thing is, well, thank God their houses are saved, which is great. But we also have to take into consideration that this is the livelihood of farmers. This is their full-time job, their day job, their night job, their bread and butter, as you mentioned, Paul. So with that being completely destroyed, we're looking at them having to start completely over from scratch.
And so we had NEMO go in. Well, first we had the area representative go in, that's area representative for Kenya, as well as the minister for NEMO, who is Minister Habet. They went in over the weekend to assess the damage, to look at the area. And well, this here is the Cadenas outpost, conservation post there in Punta Gorda as well, and that was destroyed by fire, as you and Isani discussed yesterday morning. Well, when we spoke to Colonel Velasquez, yesterday, he informed us that not because the post has been destroyed means that there won't be any sort of BDF presence in the area, because that was one of the concerns from among many Belizeans. Why is it that we're announcing that this conservation post, which basically has been established to deter illegal activities or illegal incursion from the Guatemala side, why is it that we're announcing that this post has been destroyed when it basically is giving information to those who wish to commit these sort of illicit activities?
Yeah.
Well, the colonel, the deputy commander yesterday informed us that not because this has been destroyed means that there won't be presence. We're doing constant patrols in the area. Now is to understand that this area is vast. There's a lot of jungle, but they are doing what can be done. The fire that destroyed the base, well, clearly it was an unplanned fire. It was an unforeseen circumstance. They had to remove their soldiers at some point. They had to evacuate them, and that evacuation was a 2 to 3 days process. And on the third day, when they went over to kind of clear out what else they needed to clear out, they found the place all the way burnt to the ground. And so that's the fire situation.
Yeah.
NEMO is dealing with the fire situation right now, sending relief over to residents in San Pedro, Colombia, and these areas. But apart from the fire, Sabrina, you know, with fire comes smoke. Usually the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, also where there's fire,
there's a lot of smoke.
Absolutely.
And residents in Toledo district, especially in the most southern and western parts of the Toledo district, are dealing with a lot of smoke. And this is footage coming from our weekend trip to the district, where I think it was for Chocolate Fest. That was Rick Romero and Brittany Gordon that was in Toledo over the weekend. And so classes again have been suspended for certain parts of the Toledo district. That's the most southern parts of the Toledo district, as well as the western parts of the Toledo district, due to smoke. And so the NEMO, the Ministry of Education, issued an advisory this morning informing residents of those areas, I think it's south of Medina Bank and west of that, west of Forest Home, that these areas will not have classes throughout the day, that classes are suspended for these areas. And again, it speaks to the health hazard that is posed by the amount of smoke coming from these wildfires. And you know, again, just comparing it to Belize City, just to put it into perspective, or to kind of get an understanding. Here in Belize City, or of this far up north, it's hard to grasp the severity of this situation, really, unless you're down there experiencing it for yourself. I know last week we had some fogginess and haziness in the air, but I don't think it's 100% comparable until you get down there.
So one of the things that I was mentioning to you guys, I believe about 2 weeks ago, was that I experienced my own bout of bushfire around my house. And I remember the flames being so big and the smoke being so thick that I had to move away from the area. So I imagine that, but probably multiplied by 50, where everywhere you go, there's not an absence of smoke. A lot of people are talking about having respiratory issues because of it. Persons are saying that they're waking up with a sore throat. But I also want to mention, Paul, that we had with us yesterday on the show Chief Engineer Evondale Moody from the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing. And he was talking about the ministry's involvement in the firefighting as well, saying that they are utilizing their heavy equipment and supporting NEMO and the other folks who are trying to aid persons down south. This is obviously a national emergency, something that we need to take caution. We need to be thinking about them at this time. I believe we've spoken about this last week as well, Paul, and I mentioned if there's any way that you believe you can lend support to persons in need, that would be more than useful. We know that some people have lost their homes. You can provide things like that if you need. If you have excess clothing or excess food supplies, provide that to them. I know it's all the way down south of the country, but it does make a difference. As we mentioned, this is the livelihoods of farmers that are completely destroyed because of something they had absolutely no control of, and that's forest fires.
Right, and so that's the update with what's happening down in Toledo, and I'm sure it's a conversation we will be having for the remainder of the week as firefighters and the folks over there at Tide. Big up to them as well for risking their lives essentially to ensure that they create these fire breaks so that the fire doesn't move over into properties where homes are, etc.
I think at this time, I just want to say we commend all of the organizations coming together to collaborate in the effort of fighting these fires across the country, really, but especially down south right now.
Yeah, and so that's what's happening down in Toledo with these fires, and we will continue to follow and believe we'll have some updates in the newscast tonight.
But what was also in the newscast last night, Paul, was quite an interesting story, and really interesting is what I'm using now, because when we saw the footage yesterday, it was more disturbing than anything. And that was a video that was being circulated online on Facebook and other means, other social media platforms, of a child being viciously abused by an adult. Now, this was circulated, as we mentioned, on social media, and it got as far as having UNICEF putting a press release out to denounce violence against children. Now, I'm not sure if we are going to showcase that video footage,
we won't
simply because it is disturbing.
Yeah, we won't showcase. We won't go as far as showcasing the video. In fact, in our newscast, we use stills from the video, and it's just a discussion. This is a journalism ethics in our newsroom. We have these discussions within our newsroom about what to display, what not to display, because while it may grab your audience and while it may be something that attracts a large viewership, to play the video over and over, we went with a decision to not replay the video, at least in our newscast where we have a large viewership. One, to kind of move away from further victimizing this child who's already going through a lot, because in the video you could clearly see the child and you could identify the child. You could also identify the stepfather, who I understand to be the stepfather. In the video you could identify him, but we have stills, and so we decided to not re-victimize the child by airing that video in its entirety, but rather to use stills. I know that there are others out there, other reports that not only identifies who the stepfather is, but went ahead and
identified the child.
Well, displayed the entire video, and just by identifying the stepfather, you could put the pieces together and figure out who the child is. It's a small country. These are small communities. You could identify who the mother is from that video as well. And as a result, this child could live with this for the entirety of his life. Because you know, when something goes out there on the internet, that's it. It stays out there. But just apart from that decision we took as a newsroom, watching this video got me so angry. I don't know what sort of emotions it evoked in you, but I was just upset. And I had to watch the entire video only because it's my job to report on these things. But it was hard. It was hard to watch the entirety of the video. It was hard to watch this child being physically abused in this manner. It was hard to think of the emotions that this child is facing, the emotional abuse, and what that child is thinking and going through at such a young age, the physical abuse and the pain and the hurt that this child was feeling as a result of those physical assaults on him. So the hits, the kicks, the slaps, unnecessary for a child. What can a child do to you to the point that you have to get so angry and upset at him?
Yeah, I think what's also worthy of mentioning is that the video footage that we spoke about last night in the newscast, we also mentioned that there was a bystander that observed what was taking place, and she approached the man who was inflicting the wounds on the child and expressed for him to stop, also saying that she did see what took place. So it's overall a really disturbing news to announce. I think this also, though, allows us to have an even bigger conversation when it comes to disciplining children, if that's what the case was,
a good conversation.
or abusing in general, because it's something that oftentimes we hear older generations or in general people talk about the fact that the adult tends to have more rights than the child, and that's not the case. So I'm hoping that we're able to really have a further conversation about this topic.
It's a conversation for us to ask our viewers about as well. You know, we always, our older people would refer to the Bible verse, spare the rod and spoil
the child.
I think it's a Bible verse.
Yeah, I think so too. I think.
Can you quote the scripture?
No.
Exactly. But so you hear adults refer to that, spare the rod and spoil the child, but in this day and age, what is acceptable discipline when a child does something he or she is not supposed to do? Is it acceptable? Is it appropriate to hit your child?
Yeah.
If you're doing so, how do you discipline your child? I think that should be the question in this day and age.
So on the screen there, as you can see, that is the UNICEF press release.
So the UNICEF press release, Sabrina, just to make a quick clarification, UNICEF press release did not come out in relation to the video. UNICEF press release came out in relation to a number of reports of child abuse, assaults against children, physical, sexual assaults against children, attempted kidnappings that we've reported on.
Yes.
Yeah, children losing their lives to crossfires and gun violence. So this is what the report speaks to.
Yes. But that's a very interesting point, Paul. And it would be interesting indeed to have our viewers get in on that conversation. What's the margin when it comes to discipline leading up to abuse? When does discipline turn to abuse? We know that the later generations, they talk about soft discipline or soft parenting, where a lot of people take on the approach of timeouts instead of cracking the whip on these kids. I did not come from a generation of soft parenting.
Oh, not at all. Pat spoon, frying pan,
anything.
Slippers.
But for a lot of people, the reality is much, much worse. So we do want to know in the comment section your thoughts on that. Let us know, when does discipline turn to abuse? Abuse,
that's a good one. All right, and then finally, Sabrina, just switching on over to some lighter topics. Douglas Longford.
We seem to be talking about him quite a few now, yeah?
Yeah, it's such a phenomenal basketball player representing Belize.
So young, too.
I know this morning in one of our segments, we're going to have a conversation with the team that he's on that's representing Belize in Argentina in the coming months. But Douglas Longford Jr. was named MVP of the Basketball Without Borders camp, which was held in Brazil over the last week. So this is a camp where this FIBA and the NBA comes together and they select some of the top high school players from across countries, from across the Caribbean, Latin America, Canada, and the US. So in this round, they selected 60 high school basketball players to basically train, life skills training, fundamentals of basketball, 5-on-5s, 3-point shootouts in Brazil. Now we're talking about players from across the region, right? From across the Americas. And out of those 60 players, our guy,
I think he's only like 16 or 17, you know, Paul.
Yeah, I'm not sure of
I remember him being very young the last time 17. he was here on the show, because he's such a tall kid, but so young. But one thing that I do want to say, what you guys saw on the screen right there, that video that was produced, I believe, by himself and perhaps the organization that he represents there. He said that he's Belizean. He didn't mention about being Belizean American, and
well, that for me, Belizean.
Well, yeah, but you know, a lot of time when we have these Belizean Americans representing us and doing extremely well, the first thing you hear is they're American, but they have Belizean roots. No, Douglas Langford Jr. said, I'm Belizean.
Of course.
And
Straight
I
out
love
of
that.
Dangriga, actually.
Straight out of Dangriga.
So
I love that.
He was named MVP of the camp, Sabrina. So all eyes on him, even as he prepares to compete in Argentina with the team from Belize, with the basketball team from Belize. It's going to be definitely, fans are going to look forward to his performance in carrying the team through that tournament. So
we talked about him just last week. I believe it was with Isani when we mentioned that he has been getting so many opportunities because of his talent, because of his skill, and his gift, really. And so much so that he's about to head to college at an Ivy League school because of his gift.
So I think he has a lot of prospects in terms of college. There's a lot of opportunities out there for him. I don't know that he has committed to any one yet. I know Yale is one of those under his list, but with such a talent and now with this MVP on your back, you can basically go to any school you want, and he's the future basketball in Belize. And I think a lot of Belizeans are firmly backing him to enter the NBA, which is, like the pinnacle of basketball for a lot of these young players. Open that door, my brother, and a lot of Belizeans will be inspired to follow behind you.
Absolutely. All right, well, that does it for our What's Buzzing conversation. If you have any suggestions or if you'd like to give your thoughts on the topics that we discussed, let us know in the comments section. We might just follow up on that. But jumping now into our eye-opener, Paul, for, of course, our daily dose of morning motivation.
And this one is about walking through our fears, and it's taken from dailyarm.com, and it goes like this. When we walk through our fear, we often discover what the strength of our fright was. The strength of our fright was out of sync with reality. The situation, activities, and individuals that frighten us remain static. Their relative intensity does not change. Fear, on the other hand, self-magnifies. When you are afraid and envisioning all that might go wrong, the energy underlying your fears grows. When we walk through that fear, we often discover that the strength of our fright was out of sync with reality, and we learn that doing what frightens us can lead to great blessings. Confronting your trepidation head-on will help you accept that few frightening scenarios will ever live up to the negative disasters that we sometimes play out in our minds. Fear can become a barrier that prevents you from fulfilling your potential by causing you to miss out on rewarding, life-changing experiences. During the period before you face your fear, you may have to deal with a barrage of negative thoughts and emotions. Once you emerge unscathed on the other side, which you will likely wonder why you assumed the worst in the first place. While you spend time worrying about what might happen, it's good to know that your fear probably won't happen at all. It may feel like a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders, and you will likely feel a sense of passionate pride. Walking through your fear can mean taking risks. Each step you take into fear will strengthen you and help you confront future fears with poise, courage, and confidence. When you see the heights of accomplishment in personal evolution you can attain when you walk through your fears, your faith in yourself will grow, allowing your next step to be easier.
Wonderful. Beautiful idea.
Definitely.
All right. Well, now jumping into our weather update, of course, we are trying to provide to you constant updates as it relates to what you can expect today, temperature-wise, or if there's any changes in our climate. And we do have that update for you now.
Good morning, Belize. Seasonable warm and dry weather will continue to dominate. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for mostly sunny and warm today, but hot over inland areas. High temperatures today are expected to reach 91 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 102 inland and 85 over the mountains. The heat alert will continue for inland areas, and those living inland should stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activity as much as possible, especially during the afternoon hours. Tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 76 inland and 70 in the higher elevations. Little or no rainfall is expected except for the chance of isolated thunderstorms to develop over the Maya Mountains during the afternoon or evening hours. The winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots and the sea state will be light chop. A high tide will occur at 8:03 a.m. followed by a low at 3:27 p.m. Another high occurs at 9:35 tonight and a low at 2:40 a.m. The sun rose at 5:18 this morning and will set at 6:20 p.m. The moon comes up at 4:53 this evening and set at 4:24 tomorrow morning. In the sargassum forecast, large amounts of sargassum are expected to continue to affecting beaches across the country, and in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and brush fire will remain high. The outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night is for similar weather conditions to prevail, and that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
All right, there's your weather update. Moving now into our show lineup. We have a jam-packed show this Tuesday morning, but starting things off, we'll be talking to the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, to discuss his new appointment as the first Vice President of the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police.
And in our second segment, we will be joined by Digi to discuss their exciting scholarship opportunities.
And in our third segment, it's all about Wesley's Miss Wesley pageant, that is, and also a fundraiser.
And in our final conversation, it's all about Belize's first appearance in the FIBA International Basketball Federation of the Americas tournament taking place in Argentina in the coming weeks.
Alrighty, well, we got to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the Commissioner of Police to talk about his new appointment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Littlefield Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, We rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Welcome back. We're having our first conversation this morning, and as we promised, we are joined this morning by the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, and he's here speaking about his recent appointment as the first Vice President of the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police. Good morning, Mr. Williams. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome. Welcome to OIE Escapes, by the way. He told us just moments ago that he was struggling to find the door to the entrance of our location here. But how are you doing, Commissioner?
Good morning. Thanks for the invitation, and it's always good to be here.
Yeah.
Dialoguing with you, and by extension, the people of Belize and those who may be listening and streaming from abroad.
Right.
Yeah, we're on the streets, ComPol, but that doesn't mean you're on patrol, okay?
Yeah.
So you can relax yourself.
You're really quick with it, you know. Guys, someone needs to pay him for those lines. But yes, definitely. So as we mentioned, we're here to talk about your recent appointment as first Vice President. But before we even jump into that, I think I wanted to get an overview from you on what the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police seeks to achieve.
Well, the Caribbean Association of Commissioners of Police was established in 1987, and the objective then, and those objectives still remain today, was to be that principal organization responsible for the coordinating and implementation of policing strategies within the region. From then to now, there's a lot that the association has done to improve policing within the Caribbean region. We have a 25-member state, and we also have some associate members, and with that we're able to bring together our efforts to see how we can look at best practices where policing is concerned within the region. And I think that has aided tremendously to many of the police organizations within the Caribbean region.
ComPol, you have an incredible story, I must say. I think it was only recently I learned some of your story. The fact that it wasn't until your late 20s, I think early 30s, that you acquired your high school diploma, for example. You went back for that, which is quite an achievement. And to get where you are today, has it always been your dreams and aspirations to get to these heights in your career as a police?
Well, the truth is, as a child growing up, I was not fortunate. I'm not one of those persons who I would say was born with a silver or a gold spoon in your mouth. Right. My spoon was rather rusty. Nonetheless, I am extremely thankful to my mother, who did her best to have made sure that she raised all 7 of her children the best way she could. And even though she was not able to provide material stuff for us, she was able to give us love and attention. And I think that's the most important thing one can have in life. And yes, I was not privy to have been able to attend high school in my early age due to the fact that my mother could not afford to send me to high school.
Wow.
And so it was after I enlisted in the police department that I went back to evening division at St. John's Extension, and from there I went to St. John's Junior College and then on to the University of West Indies, then and Manly. And so yes, it was due to my determination. I've always wanted to make sure that I can demonstrate to people that not because of how I was raised means I must remain that way. And I don't blame my condition in which I was raised to, for whatever may happen to me. I try as best as I can to improve on the condition that I was raised in and try to make something of myself, to demonstrate to people, not because you were raised in a certain way means that you must remain that way. If you apply yourself, apply your skills, and you're determined to achieve what you want to achieve in life, you can do it. And that's the mentality that I have always had, and that got me to where I am today.
At what point did you realize that education is a huge part, or would be a huge part of your journey to get you to where you need to be?
Well, after I joined police, I only had a primary school leaving certificate coming into police, and I saw the level of competition within the police department itself. And I knew then that if it is that I want to excel and reach my full potential, I would have to go back to school. And so I made that sacrifice. I went back to school and educated myself, because I didn't want that I would have been hindered in my progress because of not having the requisite qualification to move forward. So I went back to school and made sure that I equipped myself with the knowledge to be able to achieve the maximum rank in the police department, and so here I am today.
And now here you are, the Commissioner of Police, and now the first Vice President of the ACCP. Went from second Vice President to first Vice President, and then President after this, right, Sabrina? But
like
what does it feel like for you to be on this platform with these other accomplished law enforcement officers, and to reflect on the life you've had and the journey you've had to get here?
Well, you also missed the fact that I am the president of the Central American Commission for the Chiefs and Directors of Police. So I am also the president of the other association within this region.
The Central American region.
Yes,
okay.
so I am well respected among my peers.
And representing in both of the regions,
yes,
really.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's the first time that Belize had held these positions in either association.
Wow.
So I am very grateful that I am the person to have achieved it. And the position is not akin to the country, it is akin to the individual. So, like, if I were to leave the commissionership tomorrow, those positions will be gone as well.
Yes.
They leave along with me.
What does it take to acquire these individual positions? Do they look at the record that you have?
The record that you have, what you bring to law enforcement, the respect that your peers have for you is important.
Okay.
It is not something you just acquire automatically. And I must say that every time I am nominated within either Central America or the Caribbean region for any position on the police executive, I am never contested. So that goes to show the level of respect that my peers do have for me. And I must also say that I am the most senior law enforcement executive within both regions in terms of my years as Commissioner of Belize. When we look at the Central American region, commissioners are changed every so often.
Are they?
And likewise in the Caribbean region, every so often we see commissioners changing. And so, having served as Commissioner of Police for 5 years, going to 6 years, I am the longest standing Chief of Police within both regions. I am extremely happy and proud to have achieved that. And I just want to make sure I continue to do my best to serve first and foremost my country and my people, and then the two regions that I am a member of the executive for.
Speak a bit about your role now as first Vice President of the ACCP, a role you've recently been elected to fill. What does the job entail for you there?
Well, basically, as the first Vice President of the association, my duty is to make sure I support the President in whatever it is that we need to achieve. And as a part of the executive, what we do is to look at the policies within the region, look at what is affecting law enforcement, how can we improve on the services that we deliver to the people, looking at the improvement of police welfare within the region as well. And so basically that's the role that we do. There are many things that affect law enforcement within the Caribbean region that as a region we must address. For example, the issue of gang violence is plaguing every country within Caribbean region. Another plaguing issue is the proliferation of guns coming into our region, and it's a huge discussion for us at our conference last week, I almost got into trouble with ATF because I am saying to them that the same way how the US blacklisted us when drugs pass through our country and go into the US, even though they know that we're doing our best to prevent it from occurring, then who blacklists the US when the guns are coming in from the US to our countries and these guns are being used to kill our people? And it's a fair comparison. But I give them credit for the fact that I know that they're doing what they can, but I also believe that they can do more. One of the issues for me is that when we had the intersessional meeting in Miami last year, we had the opportunity to visit the port in Miami, and we were given a briefing in terms of what the port expect from persons who are sending packages abroad, and there's little to nothing. I can go to the port today and send a package in a name, go back this afternoon, use another name, go this evening, use another name. So there's nothing there to make sure that the persons who are actually sending these packages are real people, right? And what I'm saying to them, that they need to have some law within the US to regulate these things, to make sure that persons cannot use other person's name or any fictitious name to send packages abroad. They must make sure that every package that comes to the port to be sent abroad, the person bringing the package must have an identification card to verify that he or she is a person who is indeed sending the package. So that is one of the issues we have. People can send packages abroad from the US with little to no accountability. So when the package reaches its destination within the Caribbean and they open the package and find guns and other contraband items, who can hold accountable?
They could literally write John Doe.
Yes, exactly, and it goes. So since the US is reluctant to do that, we will have to do something in Belize, and the Prime Minister have said to us that in NSC that myself and the Comptroller of Customs need to sit down and see how we can come up with some draft legislation in terms of how we can ameliorate this issue, because even in Belize we have the same issue. We have the candies that came in the last time. We have recently we have also found barrels that port in containers with guns. We have the ghost guns that comes in as well. So we're seeing where this is already affecting Belize to a great extent. So we have to do what we can to protect our people. So myself and the Comptroller should be meeting hopefully this week or next week to see how we can discuss drafting some piece of legislation to be able to make sure that every person who imports into Belize by road or by sea, that there is proper accountability, and the broker in Belize must make sure that when he or she receives anything from anybody abroad for brokerage, that they verify that there is a real person who is actually sending these items to Belize. So
they could be held accountable.
Yes, if not, then they'll be held accountable, yes.
I wanna point out something that you mentioned, Commissioner. You spoke of some of the similar challenges that Belize faces among other Caribbean countries, or CARICOM countries, I should say in this instance. We do know that in Central America we share land borders, but in CARICOM it's a bit different. You have large bodies of water, maritime borders. And I remember watching the news and seeing an interview that was done with the president of the ACCP, sharing that they believe that there's a connection to gang franchises being developed by musicians. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a real issue, and we can find that more in Jamaica and Trinidad. I think those are the two main areas where we're seeing this occurring, and it is not far away from reaching our shores. We're lucky that we don't have that volume of musicians that Jamaica and Trinidad do have. But when we look at, for example, Trinidad. Even though Trinidad is not an artist, there are a group of DJs who goes around the Caribbean and DJ. But when you look at the type of music that they promote violence. And in many instances when they do in or through the music that they promote, say certain things, it happens. And I was shocked to see that we brought Trinidad to Belize during the Agric show. So while I do understand that promoters want to make money, man, there are other ways to make money without putting our country at risk. Because when you bring those type of people to your shores, it is just to influence our young people to do certain things that we don't want them to do. Here we are trying to say to our young people that there is a need for them to walk a certain line, for them to be able to be law-abiding, but yet we're going to bring people into the country who are going to be influential to influence them to become negative.
What can we do about that though?
We need to do what some of the countries in the Caribbean do. There are certain artists from Jamaica and Trinidad who can't go in the Caribbean. They are banned because of the type of music that they promote. Trinidad, for example, Trinidad can't go in certain part of the Caribbean. They're banned. Yes.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is that some of these artists actually can't perform within certain parts of their own countries.
Yes, that's true.
And so they have to go out and seek an audience outside of their borders. Trinidad actually, while there's a group of DJs named Trinidad, Trinidad is also associated with a genre of music in Trinidad, like how dancehall is associated with a genre of music in Jamaica. But yes, that's definitely a real thing. ComPol, how influential is the ACCP's unified voice in creating certain changes within these international policies and regional policies? Can a unified voice do something about these musicians, or can it do something about, can unified voice do something about the proliferation of firearms within the region?
Of course, I must say that the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police is well respected within the executive of our respective Caribbean region. When we look at the whole issue of CARICOM and CARICOM Secretariat, we work hand in hand with them. And so if there are issues that we need to address from an executive standpoint, what we do is that we come together, we put a document together, we send that to the CARICOM Secretariat, who will then channel that to respective governments. For example, one of the main issues that we touched during the conference last week was the issue of witness protection. It's a plaguing issue within the Caribbean region. And what some were saying was that we need to be able to move around witnesses within the respective Caribbean countries with a view to make sure that they are protected. And while, yes, we as law enforcement executive want to see that happen, it must be something that will come from our executive branches of government. And so what I had proposed to them was for us to be able to put together a document, and then we're going to send that to the CARICOM Secretariat, and hopefully when they have the next heads of CARICOM meeting, that can be tabled there, and once the respective heads of CARICOM agree, then we can put together some MOU or some treaty to be able to facilitate the movement of witnesses within the Caribbean region. And one of the things I also said to them was that why it is important for the executive to be involved is because we need to ascertain the cost. Who is going to foot the cost for the witnesses that are going to move around? The host country or the country sending the witness? So those are things that we'll need to iron out as we move forward. It is a very, very important topic because, again, while we don't see much in Belize, in the Caribbean region, like for example Trinidad and Jamaica, Bahamas now, there's a dire need for them to be able to send witnesses elsewhere so that they can be protected. As what the Commissioner of Bahamas said, that there are many cases where people go before the court, and when the accused person get bail, the witness die. So it is something that we have to see how we can do to address, if it is that we want to make our Caribbean region much safer by increasing our conviction rate, by holding criminals accountable for their actions.
And clearly we don't want those incidents to take place, or at least increase in Belize, because I'm sure there may have been one or two cases that we can reference in Belize, and you don't want that to increase to that level. ComPol, is there any discussions within the association pertaining to cyber crimes? I know that's a huge issue as the internet, social media, and technology continues to advance within the region. On one hand, you have entities and organizations seeking to push the growth of internet and accessibility, but on the other hand, you also see a growth in cyber crimes. Is that a regional issue as well?
Cybercrime is a huge issue for us, and it has to be. We have to look at the dynamism of criminality. The criminals have become so innovative in how they perpetrate their criminal acts. And as law enforcement practitioners, and especially us, the executives of law enforcement, we must be extremely agile in how we carry out our duties to make sure that we can stop these cyber criminals from invading our cyberspace. And so ensuring that we have policies that can address the issue of cybercrime is important. When we look, for example, in some of the countries within the region, not just in Central America, not just in the Caribbean, but also in Central America, criminals have established businesses on social media. Yes, they're actually selling drugs and guns on social media.
Wow.
And the thing is that while they might say it is easy to detect because they're out there, the fact is that it is not so easy because what they do is that everything there is fictitious. So when law enforcement sees it and they go after it, you'll find a ghost person, right? So making sure that our respective organizations have the equipments and the knowledge and expertise to be able to address cybercrime is important. I have said before, crime has no borders. A man can sit in a country and be committing a criminal act in many different countries at the same time, just by the press of a button on a computer or a phone. So ensuring that we have the equipments, the knowledge to deal with these issues are extremely important for us. So cybercrime is very, very important. And I'm happy to say that Belize is one of the countries in the region that has the best equipment to be able to address cybercrime. Yes, one might say, but we don't have the equipment, but why we still can't stop it? We'll never be able to stop it. But we should be able to investigate as best as we can. It's a very tedious process because we cannot just invade a person's privacy. While you have your cell phone and it has all your information, you may have your laptop, your tablet. All the information is there. We can't just go and say we want that and extract what is there. There must be a process that we must go through, and that process requires that we go to the court and get a court order. In some instances, the information is not basically stored on the phone. It is stored on some cloud or on some other platform externally, like for example, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. We are not the keepers of the records of those information or data. Those data are kept by those respective countries outside of Belize. So only one thing from Facebook, we have to get a court order. Then that court order goes to Facebook, and then Facebook then gives us information. So it's a very tedious process that we must go through to get the information in compliance with the laws of our respective countries.
Does this new position comes with an added pressure to ensure that the Belize Police Department is acting or operating at a high level because you are in this influential position within the association?
Of course, I always see it as that, whether I am a part of any of the associations. I always see my role as the Commissioner of Police a very pressurized one, not just to make sure that the police do what needs to be done, but also to make sure that the country is safe, that the people of this country and those who visit our shores are safe. I go to sleep every night wondering what I can do, wake up in the morning, see what I can do better, and it just comes with the territory. I can't be the Commissioner of Police and be complacent, be nonchalant. I have to make sure that my actions depict that I want to see better for this country in terms of security. So I am always under that degree of pressure to make sure that we do the right thing in making our people and country safe.
But with your time slowly, or soon I should say, winding down, do you feel like you've accomplished everything you set out to do during your time as Commissioner?
Well, I believe that I have accomplished more than I have set out to do. As the Commissioner of Police, there were several things that I said I wanted to do. One of the main things I wanted to do was to reduce the amount of complaints against the police, those police brutality issues, and likewise reduce the amount of homicides in the country. So those were my two main objectives, and I believe that I have achieved both of them. If you look at the amount of complaints being made against the police now, as opposed to before I was Commissioner of Police, you'll see that there was a tremendous decrease. Even in the Ombudsman report, he highlighted that there is less report now made against the police as opposed to before. And when we look at the murder rate of the country, you can compare before I was Commissioner of Police to now, and you will see that every year there's a downward trend. And so I feel extremely happy that I was able to achieve that. But I'm not going to take the credit for it because it is not my work solely. It is the work of the entire police department, the men and women of this department who comes to work every day, making sure that they do what needs to be done to make our people and country safe. my other senior officers across the country, the regional commanders, the desk officers who are out there to motivate their people to do the right thing. I also have to commend them for the tremendous job that they do. Yes, as a commissioner, I am the one who steers the ship, but I must make sure I steer the ship in the right direction. And while I make policies in conjunction or in consultation with my other commanders.
With this new posting, should we now lay to rest the conversation about your political aspirations? You said the position come with the job.
Like I said, there is nothing wrong to think, right? To think about what you want to do, to think about where you want to go. Nothing is wrong with that. And I have always been thinking about what next for me after I leave the commissionership. Yes, I am an attorney. I can go and practice law. But is that what I really want to do? I have fight all my life to keep criminals behind bars. I don't foresee myself fighting to take criminals out. I don't see that happening.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
And so I have to think what would be next for me. And yes, going to politics looks very attractive. And I'm thinking about it. But it does not mean that because you think of something, it means that you're going to do it or it is going to happen. Yeah. We are human beings. We must think. The minute we stop think, we stop live. Right? So I am more at this time focused on doing what I can to achieve the objectives of the police department and by extension the country of Belize. Likewise, to fulfill my commitment to the other two police organizations that I have in Central America and the Caribbean. So for now, politics is out of the question. So I could tell my friend, the leader of the opposition, that he can rest for now.
For now.
For now.
I am more focused now in terms of making sure that I do what I can to keep this country safe.
ComPol, before we send you off set, I'd like to get your thoughts on a video that went viral yesterday of child abuse. I'm not sure if you've seen the video of this child being physically abused by what we now understand to be his stepfather, but from just a human being standpoint, and even as a commissioner, what sort of emotions did this video evoke if you've seen it?
I can't say what I want to say publicly, but when I first saw the video, the first thing came to my mind was, is this really Belize? That's the first thing that came to my mind. And then the next thing that came to my mind, is this actually a person? Is this person a man? I don't know. But the level of abuse that thing, I want to call him a man, put on that child is disgusting, and it should be condemned in its greatest term. No child should be subjected to such abuse. And to make it worse, the child seems so mannerly, seems so compliant, and as much as the child was mannerly and compliant, this thing continued to beat the child. For what? What was he trying to achieve? What does that do to him to abuse a child in such a way? It's disgusting. As I saw the video, I communicated with Mr. Romero, and I was happy that when I communicated with him, he told me, he said, Commissioner, we have already dealt with the matter, the man has been charged. The only sad part about the whole story is that we did not see the video until after he had gone to court. Because if we had seen the video before he had gone to court, we would have objected to bail. Right? So that's the only sad part about it. By the time we saw the video, he was already in court, already gotten bail. And that's the only issue, because I don't believe a person of his magnitude should be out in public. He should not be. He should not be around no child, absolutely none. Right? And so that's my issue with that video.
Well, Commissioner, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. Of course, giving us the update on your recent appointment, what that means for you and also for us here in Belize too.
I must say before that, we have the Central American Caribbean Commission, and we have the Caribbean Association. What we're trying to do now is to harmonize our efforts, because whatever happens in Central America also affects the Caribbean region.
Right.
We have the whole issue of the drug trafficking with the drug cartels moving through our country. They're also moving through the Caribbean. We have the issue of the gang violence. We see it in Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica. It is also happening in the Caribbean. We have the whole issue of the firearms trafficking and firearms smuggling, human smuggling. These are issues that affects both regions. And so myself as the president of one commission and the vice president of the other association, yes, I am now seeing myself as that conduit to bring together both regions to see how we can make our respective regions safer. I always believe that once we harmonize our policing efforts, we should be able to achieve a lot. Policing should not be done regionally, it should be done globally. So again, connecting with other organizations across the world is going to help us to make our country and our regions much safer.
All right.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by, ComPol. We appreciate it as always, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and it's always a pleasure to be here. Just that next time, make sure Paul is not here.
Come on. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into Digi scholarships. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
1,067,700 slices of bacon are eaten by tourists each year, stimulating our local economy. Tourism means business.
Internet should be more than fast. NextGen 360 gives you peace of mind. Security, room-to-room coverage, all under your control. Can your internet do that?
The Mega Bingo Progressive Jackpot has been climbing and is now at $434,525. It's time to get in the game so you can have your chance at all that mega cash. Get your tickets for the next show airing on Wednesday, May 22nd on Channel 5 and Love FM at 8 p.m. Or catch it online. Log into YouTube or Facebook and search for Belize Mega Bingo. So make sure you don't miss it. Don't you want to be the next to win the Mega Progressive Jackpot? All that cash can make your dreams come true. And remember, Mega Bingo is the game.
With the steady increase in prices, it's hard to hold on to your hard-earned cash. Well, here at Benny's, prices are steadily falling, making it easier to stretch your dollars. Prices are slashed on roofing, plywood, nails, rebar, paints, lumber, and other products for your construction needs. And with fantastic discounts going on right now, get store-wide deals on select products from now through September 30th. Visit a Benny's store near you today, where the prices just keep on falling. Benny's, quality and savings.
What if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000? And what if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars and come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Back with our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about Digi and their scholarship opportunities. And we have joining us in studio Mr. Stephen Yarwood, who's the marketing manager over at Digi, as well as Mr. Eric Lopez, who's the senior communications rep also at Digi. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, good morning.
Thanks for joining
It's really nice to be here.
Yeah, welcome.
Different setting.
I was just going to say welcome to OIE Escapes. Yes, we're escaping the studio.
I like that.
And we are over here at Old Belize this morning.
I like that. We should escape the office.
Yeah, I think I'm a proponent for escaping the office every day.
Yeah.
As much time as you can.
Don't escape the boss though. Just escape the office.
Yeah, well, actually, sometimes you want to escape the boss, but that's another conversation for another day.
That's another segment.
Yeah, gentlemen, let's talk a bit about the Digi scholarship and how long this scholarship has been in existence.
Yeah, so I mean, we're super proud of our scholarship program. It has been in existence since 1991.
Wow, that's the year I was born.
So since you're saying that, I was one of those recipients back in 1991.
Okay.
Wow. Right, and for me, it has been an amazing experience. To date, we have graduated. To date, we have had over 700 students on the program, and our success rate in terms of graduates is super high. As we speak, we have almost 90 students currently enrolled in schools all across the country, north, south, east, west, in the deepest of the rural areas, and that's why we love that. People actually come out and apply for our scholarship, and we're expecting that at the end of this school year, we are going to graduate about 25 kids, which is going to make 25 scholarships available. So we're just encouraging everyone, it doesn't matter where you are, apply for the scholarship. You never know until you try. So we're here.
What was the initial idea behind the scholarship? If you can, one of you can speak to that. Like, what was the inspiration? Why is it that we decided to start this scholarship?
Digi has always been an avid supporter of education in Belize. It goes well beyond our scholarship program. We work closely with the government agencies, with the schools. We currently provide free internet to some of the schools. Different institutions reach out to us directly for initiatives that they are hosting. So it's not just about the scholarship program, but it's just our contribution and our role as a leading corporate citizen to do what we can when it comes to education in Belize.
I want to get Eric in the conversation because, I mean, just hearing how long Digi has been serving the people in education is inspiring on its own. But I want to talk a bit about the competition aspect of it, because you mentioned there's limited spaces, there's limited scholarships to go around. What does it take to win a scholarship from Digi?
Well, to win a scholarship, it's based on academics, of course, and financial need. That's the reason why when applicants apply for the scholarship, they're asked to submit their grades from standard 4, 5, and 6, as well as TD4 or a job letter of their parents, you know, because yes, as like I said, it's based on academics, but we also want to help someone who's less fortunate,
right?
You know, so that's why it's based around your economic status, as well as the academics.
This is high school scholarships, just to be clear for our viewers.
From standard 6 going into high school, the scholarship covers your tuition and your books.
And it's for 4 years.
4 years.
The entire high school ride. Wow.
Yeah, I know how important of a move transitioning from primary to high school is for these students. And in fact, we were with the Commissioner of Police moments ago, who told us his story and the fact that his parents couldn't afford to send him to high school. So he got his high school diploma in his 30s when he joined the police department. That's when he had the money to do it. Now, imagine he would have gotten a head start, and here you all are giving these less fortunate kids a head start.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting when you hear some of the success stories from persons who we would say have been successful and have made it at a certain level. To Eric's point, the application process is very rigorous and it's very emotionally challenging for a person sitting on the panel. And why I say that is because you get some report cards where the grades are excellent all across from multiple applicants. But it's when you get into the stories, the backstories and their situation, that's when it tugs at the heart. And, you know, there's been instances where in these sessions, tears, you know, run down the panel's eyes, we have to take a break, we have to go and come back. I mean, it's really, I mean, at the end of the day, we would have loved to be able to give every single applicant a scholarship. That's not the reality. But the stories, the inspiration, the motivation that some of these kids have, we're encouraged because there's applications that have been filled out by the students themselves, not the parent. The students have shared that I downloaded the application, or I went to the office and I got my application, I filled it out, I worked with my parent to get the necessary requirements, the job letter or the TD4 form, filled it out, and they were the ones who submitted. You know, so it's inspirational to us because we know who has that drive, who has that passion, that will to succeed and be successful and elevate him or herself from their current situation. And that's, at the end of the day, what our scholarship program is about, giving the less fortunate an opportunity to excel and, you know, better their situation for themselves and their family.
I want to get a bit of your story, though, because you mentioned that you were one of the first recipients of the Digi scholarship in 1991.
Not emphasize it too
much. I have to mention the year I was born. The year Paul was born, was brought into the world. Let's talk about why it was important for you to apply for this scholarship and how it has impacted your life.
It was a long time ago. No. Why did I apply? It was an opportunity. My situation was not perfect. You know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect. And, you know, my family welcomed an opportunity to have BTL, at the time BTL, pay my tuition, my books, and fast forward to where we are now. And it's just a mere coincidence, by the way, that I ended up working for the organization. It was not my first place of employment. I went somewhere first, and then I applied for a job, and then I was successful. So my story is boring compared to some of the stories of some of the kids that are on the program. When they come, their parents cannot even represent themselves in a conversation. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's the reality. So the kid or the child needs to lead that conversation with the panel, and these conversations have been like excellent. Like you'd be surprised at the level of maturity where some of these standard 6 kids are. So like I said, at the end of the day, it's inspiring to us, and it gives us hope to know, and it's a high level of satisfaction to know that we're giving these kids an opportunity to.
So let's talk a bit about the application process and what what is required of an applicant within the application. Is there anything that they have to write, perhaps an essay per se? Let's get an idea of what it is that the applicant is signing up for.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to mention that we're making the application process as easy as possible. You know, these applications, we want to make them accessible. So, you know, we still have people that aren't that computer literate. So you could just walk into any Digi store and ask for an application. They'll get it for you and they'll give you a hard copy. Or you could just visit our website and apply digitally, right? But so you fill out the application. It has all the requirements, the documents, like I mentioned, the TD4, the copy of your grades.
What's a TD4?
Okay, that's a income tax.
Okay,
a statement.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
I shouldn't be asking that question. I should know that. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's something like you need to file.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, or a job letter. You also need a reference letter from your principal, and then you submit your application. Like Stephen mentioned, there is a committee, you know, a scholarship committee, a panel. You know, they vet these applications and then they shortlist them. You know, they shortlist them, and then we get in contact with the applicants, you know, who are shortlisted for interview. You know, so we go district to district, you know, interviewing these candidates, and then from there they go into writing their essays.
So there's more than one phases to this.
Yes, that's why he mentioned it's a very rigorous process, because, you know, at the end of the day we want to give the scholarship to someone who deserves it, you know.
So the interview, the essays come after the interviews.
Yes.
So once you're selected, you write your essay, or you're shortlisted?
No, it's a part of the process. So when your interview is completed with your parent or parents, then you're asked to go in a room by yourself and write your essay.
So that's on the spot.
What's the essay about?
Why should you be given an opportunity to be a part of the scholarship program?
Imagine they put you in a test, you know, like after your interview, all right, go in a room and write this essay.
No, to be honest, it only sounds stressful.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you read some of the things that these kids put on paper, you have to take a break.
Yeah.
I mean, they're super honest with what it is that they're sharing, and oftentimes they say what their goal is for the future and why, which boils down to a better life for myself and my family.
On average, how many applications do you guys get annually? Because like you said, this year you may only have 25 spaces available, but on average, how much
it ranges. There's been times we receive almost 200, 250,
wow.
125, 150. Right now the applications are coming in, but that should not deter anybody from applying.
You have until June 15 to do so. You know, so we're urging all high school, all primary school. You know, if you're graduating this year and you want to, you know, continue your education, then you should.
Well, this seems to be, you know, a project from Digi that has been more than impactful to many young people, now adults. So we want to commend you guys for the work that you have been doing for the community as well. And I'll also give you gentlemen some final thoughts on reminding our viewers to apply for these scholarships.
Yes, and in your final thoughts, give us again the age, range, tell us where applications can be found, deadline, those types of information.
Okay, well, you know, candidates must be between the ages of 11 and 14. You know, they must have been residing in the country for at least 3 years. You know, we need report cards from your Standard 4, Standard 5, Standard 6. Also, like I mentioned earlier, we need a job letter from your parents or a TD4. You know, they must be averaging an annual gross salary of below $20,000. You know, like I mentioned before, you could walk into any Digi store and get a hard copy of the application, or you could apply digitally via the website. You know, so I'm urging all Belizean students, you know, primary school students, you know, parents, to encourage our kids as well, you know, to take this opportunity. You know, you lose nothing in applying. You lose nothing in applying. I must stress that, you know, and you can only gain.
Yeah.
Right. So I would like to leave them with that.
So you, Mr. Fairwood, your turn. Your final thoughts.
So I just want to close with the fact that our scholarship program is more than just paying for your school fees and your books. We offer mentorship. If the child or the parent reaches out to us and says that my child needs help in a particular subject matter, we source that help from within the organization. If that assistance is not available within the organization, we find external assistance. So that is what makes our program one of the best in the country, because it's not just about paying fees. We offer mentorship, and we want to do what it is that we need to do to ensure that your child is successful in his or her schooling. So apply. Like Eric said, there's nothing to lose.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate the information, and we're hoping that our viewers are able to be inspired enough to take the leap and apply. You miss the chances you don't take, you know, you miss the opportunities you don't take. So definitely I'm hoping that they're able to look at this as an opportunity to further themselves and their future.
It is.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into Miss Wesley Pageant. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Hi, my name is Leah Mangar, and I am currently the Administrative Assistant at Yasche Conservation Trust here in beautiful Punta Gorda. I received the Social Security Board Scholarship in the year of 2021. After I was told that I was a successful recipient of this scholarship, I was very grateful. This scholarship has assisted me in various ways. Firstly, it relieved me of financial constraints. So that was the main obstacle that was keeping me back. But receiving this scholarship allowed me to gain the skills and the knowledge that I needed to attain the job that I currently have. I would just encourage you all to apply to the scholarship, and the process is very, very easy. You will find a link and it will direct you to everything that you need in order to submit your application. And once you submit it, pray and just hope for the best, because you just will never know if you can get it.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Fowers and I work at UMAL. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone, because it saves time, money, and gas price, because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
What if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000. And what if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars to come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back to OYE. We're jumping into our third conversation this morning, and it's all about the Miss Wesley Pageant. It's a fundraising event set to generate some funds for their third form building that was recently destroyed by Hurricane Lisa, correct, ladies? So this is obviously an effort for a greater cause. But obviously, pageants are fun too, so we're here to talk about what will be taking place on pageant night. We have here with us 4 of the lovely delegates that will be representing Wesley for the Miss Wesley pageant. And interestingly, they're all third formers. So let's get a quick introduction. I have here with me to my immediate left, Gianni Stain. Can you raise your hands, ladies, since you all are on my left? So we have Gianni Stain here with us, and you are you all from like the same class? I know they have several third form.
Different classes.
Okay, so tell me a bit about yourself. What are you studying? Are you doing business, science? Okay, you have your mic there. All right, cool. So Gianni Stain, let's get a hand, Kayla Chuck. And you're studying what?
I'm currently studying academic arts.
Okay, remember to keep your mic up. We have also with us Rihanna Baptist. Hi Rihanna, what are you studying? Business. And to the far end is Aaliyah Medwood. Hi Aaliyah. Remember your mic. What are you studying?
Science.
Science. Well, ladies, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. I have to mention, and I kind of teased it a little bit earlier, I actually graduated from Wesley College, so this is a little bit of a reunion for me and my school. Ladies, what made you decide to take part in this pageant in the first place? Let's begin with you, Aaliyah.
Well, I've decided to take part in the pageant because I've done a pageant before where I won. I hold the title Little Miss Carnival.
Oh, okay.
And since then, I've become more interested in pageantry. It became something I loved. I love the support, all the fun activities that I've done. It was a great time that night, and I really enjoyed, and I would love to do pageantry every time I get the chance to.
All right, I like that. Well, let's move things along. Rihanna, what made you decide to take part in this pageant?
Well, I joined this pageant because I love pageantry, and also because I love to dress up.
I like that. But what's to love about pageantry? Because both of you ladies mentioned that you love pageants.
I guess since I was younger, I just love being on stage. I just love the attention, the support, everything about it.
Okay. And we have here with us Kayla Chuck. Kayla, what made you decide to partake in this pageant?
Well, for me, pageant is something new, so I'm getting used to it. But the reason that I decided to join Miss Wesley pageant is to encourage young females like myself to try something new and to embrace who they are.
Yeah. And of course, I have here with me Gianni Stain. Now, she mentioned that she's a bit on the nervous side this morning, so I'm just going to ask you the very same question that I asked all the ladies. Why did you decide to take part in this pageant?
Because it's my first time, and I said I wanted to give it a try because I want other females like myself knowing that they are beautiful to step on the stage, to know that you can be someone, you can try different things. This is my first time, and to be honest, coming up in it, I love it. I love the dancing, the practicing.
Yeah.
Thanks to Miss Wade.
Yeah. Well, you did mention some of the segments that we can expect at the pageant, but since you, all of you ladies, are from the third form of the school, which the building would have been severely impacted by the hurricane, talk to me a bit about what you guys are experiencing over at your school as it relates to the structure.
Well, since Hurricane Lisa hit, we had the roofs at our school has become destroyed. So this pageant is a fundraiser to help and get equipment so that we can fix it. So it's a fundraiser that we're doing. Thank you.
And I understand that the fundraiser will also be helping to provide some sporting equipment as well. Can you guys speak about that? Any of you girls are athletes?
Well, I am. I do track and field and basketball, but it helps to get equipment for the different sports we do for track and field, football, and basketball. Last year they came in, I think, second for the basketball and third. They came in for basketball. They won championship for the football. Some of the students from Wesley College went to Costa Rica recently for the track and field. So the equipments are needed.
Yes, we just spoke about that last night in our newscast. Well, ladies, you guys did hint there are quite a few segments in this Miss Wesley pageant. Let's talk about the different areas that we can expect on pageant night.
Well, there are 5 segments in all. They have the introduction, they have the
talent,
then the
platform.
The what?
Platform.
The platform. Sorry, they have the platform. Oh,
no, you can get some assistance.
Okay. I'll say. So first we have the introduction. After the introduction, we have the talent. Then after the talent, we have the platform speech. After the platform speech, we have our evening wear. And last but not least, we have the question and answer segment.
What's really interesting to me is the platform aspect of the pageant. What is expected of the delegates when it comes to deciding what their platform is?
Okay, so the platform speech is basically us representing a female that we know it has played a major impact in our society, Belizean society especially. So the platform speech is basically us showcasing who they are and to give recognition to them.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that part or that aspect when it comes to choosing a platform in pageantry. In this case, it would be choosing someone that essentially inspires you guys, correct?
Yes, Mom.
Have you guys decided on who you're choosing or what you're choosing your platform speech to be around, or is that a secret?
Yes, Mom.
Are you willing to share?
I will be representing Kendall Morgan, the reigning queen of Belize.
Yes, I know Kendall as well, and she also graduated from Wesley too.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, and yourself?
I will be representing Miss Lila Vernon.
Okay.
I will be representing Gwendolyn Lizaraga.
I will be representing Miss Arzu, a teacher of Miss Wesley College.
So I'm hearing several different ideas when it comes to inspiration. We have someone that I imagine you probably crossed paths with before, and other individuals here, what went into choosing these women that inspired you to be your platform speech?
Well, I decided to do Kendall Morgan because when I've heard her background, she's done pageantry, she's done pageant her whole life, and she's a very active person. She loves athletes. She's an athlete, and I also want to be an athlete. So I love how she interacts and how she come along with other people. She gives motivational speeches, and the way she come about, I just love it, and I want to be one day like her.
And how about you, Rihanna?
I chose Miss Leila Vernon because to me she just seemed like a burst of energy, and I just love the Creole culture, so that is what led me to choosing her.
Let's get you, Kayla.
I decided to choose Gwendolyn Lizarraga because she was the first lady to be a part of the cabinet. So I found that really interesting since I would like to go into the study of law. So for me, I just found that person as a big role model to take up.
And you chose a teacher of Wesley.
It's because
Why?
she's loving, she's caring, she shows her equal love towards the schools, towards the students at the schools. And she teaches very well, she teaches me English. So.
I like that. Well, ladies, you mentioned that there's quite a few segments, and I'm really happy that you were able to explain the platform speech aspect of it. Of course, there are fun, also fun segments of pageantry like talent competition. What can we expect from you guys there?
For my talent, I will be doing a drama dance.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And yourself?
My talent, I will be doing an Afrobeat dance.
Okay. All right. And you?
For me, I will be doing an Asian dance.
Well, we're definitely all dancing here.
I will be singing.
I love that. Okay. Well, ladies, this has been quite exciting. I do want to, though, go back to the heart and the purpose of the pageant, which is, of course, a fundraising event. Let's talk about date, time, and location of the pageant.
The date is the 25th of this month, May, and the time 7 o'clock at Belize Elementary Gymnasium.
Okay. And ladies, what does it take to train to be a pageant girl? What's the training like for this pageant night coming up?
Okay, well, training for this pageant, you will need to be disciplined. You will need to put a lot of time and effort in it. Also, to work together, because teamwork is a main component in when you're joining a pageant. So for us, coming together and encouraging each other to try their best to do what they have to do on that stage is what it's like being a pageant girl.
Is there any segment that each of you ladies are looking forward to specifically? Is there any segment of the pageant that you're looking forward to?
My talent.
Your
My
talent, okay. And how about you ladies? What are you looking for? Everyone's excited about the talent? Not even evening gown?
Well, for me, I'm excited for the introduction so people can learn more about me and what I have to showcase.
Okay. Well, ladies, remind us again the date, time, location, and of course, how can we purchase tickets? Do we stop at Wesley and get those tickets there?
I believe you could, yes ma'am. $10 for the ticket for general, and reserved is $20. The date is, again, the 25th of May, 2024 at the Belize Elementary Gymnasium for 7 o'clock p.m.
7 o'clock sharp.
Sharp.
Now,
Yes, sorry. There's also a segment in which we will be selling the different, all different contestants will be selling tickets. So it's for a segment that we would have. So if the contestant sells more tickets, they would get a chance to win. So also you can buy it from the contestants.
So it's kind of like a popularity aspect of it too?
As well.
Yes. All right. Well, ladies, good luck. All the best. And of course, we look forward to seeing who turns out to be Miss Wesley 2024, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, can I please thank the sponsors?
Sure. You look like you have a long list there, though. Go ahead.
I would like to thank La Fashions Boutique, Maya Electronics, Gadgets, 0 Degrees, Crazy Cup, GS Com, Medina's House of Jewelry, 360 Photo Booth, Angela's Press, Atlantic Bank, Rakia's Salon Studio, Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza, Bird's Isle, Blue Heaven Dives and Tour, Cahal Pet Resort, T-Shirt Factory, Creme de la Creme, Dream Nails and Hair, Exquisite Touch, Flora Soul, Flowers by Alma, Grace Kennedy, Hair Express, Heritage Bank, Jador's Boutique, Lasting Memories Design, Life and Fashion Photography, Madisco, Ministry of Education, Old River Bar and Grill, Allsills, Posh, Santiago Castile Limited, sorry for the mispronunciation, San Pedro Belize Express, Simon Kwan, Trinifec, Datbox Donuts, Full Tech System Limited, Mikado, Nancy's Jewelry, and also the Wesley and Lumini.
Guys, if that's some of the prizes you're going to be getting, I wish I could go in that pageant. I'm a Wesley girl too. Yes.
And also to add, if I have missed any sponsors, I would like to say a great, huge thank you to all that had supported us and giving us our equipments for this pageant. So thank you.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for stopping by. Miss Wesley 2024. It's going to be an exciting night come the 25th, 7 o'clock sharp at the gymnasium for Belize Elementary. Thank you, ladies, so much for stopping by, and good luck. All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we're going to be taking the conversation into Belize's first participation at the FIBA Americas. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
What if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000? And what if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars to come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Welcome back. This is our fourth and final segment, and we are joined by members of the under-18 Belize national basketball team, and they are gearing up to compete in Argentina for the FIBA Americas. It's the Belize's first appearance in this cup at this level, and so it is an honor to be joined by these young men. Young men yourself, Mr. Wesley, as you all prepare for this tournament. We have in studio, well, on set with us, Mr. Jacob Wesley, who is the president of the Belize Basketball Federation, as well as Devin Moody to his left, and Mr. Josiah Mosley, is Mosley correct? To his right, and these young gentlemen are both players on the national team.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, thanks
and
for having us.
welcome. Excited? Are we all excited to head to Argentina?
I hope they are.
Yeah.
I know, I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Now, gentlemen, it's quite a big deal here. You all played your hearts out in the
Central Basket.
Yeah, the Central Basket, the regional competition. Let's talk a bit about what it has been like for you, Mr. Moody, since that time. This is last year. It's crazy how time has moved so fast, and we are now only days away from the actual tournament. What has it been like for you?
Well, it has been very great. After that tournament, we placed third, as y'all know. The work has only gotten harder because we knew from then that we was going to be qualified for this year. So the work has just gotten harder, and we just try to stay on workout every day, preparing for this moment. I've been waiting for this moment, so I'm very grateful.
Have you been consistent in playing competitively, whether it's in smaller leagues and smaller competitions with different teams?
I've been competitive. For the past year, I've been.
Yeah, wonderful. And yourself, Josiah, how has it been for you?
Josiah is a new member to the team.
I figured that much because I'm thinking Josiah. Who's Josiah?
Yeah.
Josiah, so you're a new
I
addition.
remember seeing you.
No, I don't. Josiah, you're a new addition to the team. Tell me a bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised in California, and I moved to Texas. I live in Round Rock, Texas right now. It's a little far from Austin, the capital, and we made it to playoffs from my school. So we played a team, and they asked us if I was Belizean, and I told them my mom was from her dad, Errol Gabriel, and from that I think my mom contacted the president, and then we've just been kind of texting them, and here I am right now.
So how long have you been in Belize in preparation for this tournament?
I just got to Belize 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Is this your first time in Belize?
No, this is my second time.
Second time, nice. So you're connected to your roots.
Yeah, we visited a couple months ago with the whole family. So this is my second time.
So tell me, what's it like for you being in Belize? Is it everything that was described to you?
I think it was kind of better, especially since I get to like do something I love, like play basketball while I'm out here too. Just to represent Belize, represent my grandfather and my mom, is a really good thing to do.
I know you've only been here a short time, but what's your thoughts on the basketball community here at all levels, from the younger guys up to the older guys? Did you get a chance to catch any of the games over the weekend?
I watched the pro team yesterday.
Sunday?
Yeah, I think Sunday, yesterday,
yeah.
Sunday. And it was a really good game. I really enjoyed watching them. I also got to play a little bit, practice a little bit with them, some of them yesterday too. So I really enjoyed watching their team.
Well, who did you practice with?
I don't know.
The defenders.
Defenders.
Right.
Now, Mr. Leslie, like I told Mr. Moody, this time has come so fast. I remember being at the games last year and thinking how far away this tournament is, but now we're here. Let's talk a bit about what preparation has been like for these young men and the team leading up to the tournament.
Yeah, for them it's been great. I know for me it's stress.
Yeah, clearly.
These are the times that I'm under the gun, and these guys are able to just focus on basketball and getting themselves better. But as you mentioned, last year when we played in Central Basket, we were unranked, right? So Belize had never been participating in junior competition for some years. And when we did our evaluations for this competition, I felt like we had a good bunch of kids that could really put Belize on the map. And when we signed up, everybody thought we were going to be the punching bag, right? Because nobody knew who we were. And I went on every media rounds and I said we're going to qualify, you know. And the guys made me proud. When they won the bronze, man, I think I cried, but I don't make anybody see.
No, you cried. We have video footage of it too.
But it was a proud moment because I understood the gravity of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the farthest Belize has ever qualified in basketball, whether it be junior, senior, male or female. It's the farthest Belize has ever gone. And for me to be put in a position where I can give these opportunities to these kids, it's what is valuable to me, because again, we never had these opportunities when I was growing up.
Yeah. And
so it has been a privilege to serve these young men and to really open the platform and open the doors so that they can showcase their skills. And just in the last competition, some of them got opportunities because of it. So it's to continue to open those doors and to continue to create opportunities for young men so that they can really, you know, change their lives and the families that come in after them.
I think added to that, though, it has really offered the public to further support our Belizean athletes. I'll tell you, Jacob, before that big competition last year, I didn't really follow basketball, but I was glued to my laptop watching Belize every night play. And I have to say, you really gave us a sense of appreciation for the sport and, of course, the athletes that we do have here in Belize. I remember when you were here on set with your brother talking about the fundraising leading up to this big competition and what it took, and not feeling like we would be able to achieve it. Coming so close and then getting it, of course, and having the entire country rally behind these group of young men, supporting them all the way. But you also spoke about some of the opportunities that they were able to get after. Let's touch on a bit of that.
I mean, many of the kids, like again, we had about 5 of the kids from that competition who were living in the States already, playing in high school ball. They got offers from colleges because of the exposure they received there.
Oh, wow.
And then you have some of the kids who were in Belize who got opportunity to go study in the States because of the exposure they received. So again, it's for us, we know the limitations that we have in Belize, and it's difficult for us to train and develop these young men because we just don't have the resources. You know, and they're going against USA and Canada and Argentina. These are countries with great resources, right? And so the task ahead of them is big. And so for us, I wanted to, as much of the kids I could get out there, so that they can receive the proper training, the proper nutrition, and the proper everything, so that they be able to be in the best position to compete. Devin is born and raised in Belize, right? And just to see his dedication to the sport and what the work he put in, and now being able to showcase it on a world stage is, I mean, it's priceless to me. Right. Just the opportunity for it is wonderful.
When I saw the group that we have been placed in for this tournament, I had mixed emotions. It sent some shivers down my spines, but it also brought a level of excitement. And of course, one of the teams that a lot of people would be looking at is the mighty USA, right. Correct? Right. But for you, Josiah, you play in America. What, if any, advice do you think you can give to your team about the level of competitiveness that they would have to go with on the court to compete at that level?
I know on the USA team, I've played against a lot of the players, so like they're not really like that much different from me. Like we all play basketball, like we know how to play. So I don't really think there's a reason to be scared or like to be nervous against them. Like they tie their shoes one shoe at a time. They put their shoes on. They wake up just like us. I love that. So like they're just human. There's not really anything special about them, but like at the same time, you don't want to like underestimate them. But like I don't really think there's any reason to be like nervous or scared to play against them.
Devin, is this the group you were hoping to get in?
I won't say this is a group I was hoping to get in, but it's a great opportunity to play against Team USA. We just got to go, give our hearts, play our hearts. And if we know we did our best, we'll be good with the outcome. And like he said, what he said, it motivates us as, you know, coming, like born and raised here, he coming from there, what he just said just motivates us. Like it's just.
And I love the way he said it. They tie their shoes the same way.
Yeah.
They wake up the same way, and they train probably the same way.
No, to be completely transparent here, Mr. Leslie, these things cost.
Right.
It's not cheap to take a team from Belize all the way to Argentina to house them, feed them, ensure that they're properly cared for and brought back home in one piece. My understanding is that you have to raise at least $200,000 to ensure that everything is covered, and we are about halfway there. Let's talk a bit about that.
That to me is a disappointing part. I thought these kids played their hearts out. I thought they made Belize proud. The Civic was jumping with excitement when these kids defeated Mexico. Right after the tournament, I prepared a budget for this one. Again, we knew we were coming, so I prepared a budget and business plan, and I forwarded it to the government sectors and the private sector in anticipation of trying to raise funds, not only to participate, but to train. It's our society, unfortunately, that they don't do anything until the time is right, up until we're right here, right? So we have gotten one sponsorship support so far, which came in last week from the Minister of Sports, which I truly appreciated. He gave us $100,000, which is probably the most the Ministry of Sports has ever given to any one sporting discipline. And so we definitely appreciate it. Unfortunately, we would have hoped the sponsors that we had last year would have continued the journey with us and continued to support us in this new venture, but it has not been that case. I sat there just now and I heard Wesley College listing off all these sponsors. I'm like, man, my sponsor list is short.
Yeah.
I might have to tap into some of those sources there, but it's difficult. I mean, I try to carry the burden. I don't try to put that burden on these kids. I want them to focus on basketball. I give them all the positivity that we're going. And that is what I believe. We're going to go, regardless of any situations. We're going to figure it out as we go along. But I would really want to appeal to the private sector and to the government and understand, this is not only these young men going out there. When they go out there, they put Belize on their chest. This is a representation of all of us. And to have them go out there not prepared, not having proper attire, you know, it's a reflection of us. And so for us, having Belize put on this map, I think it's very important for Belize to come behind us and to support us, because when these young men play, they will see it. And like Josiah said, you can put us against anybody. Put us against USA, Canada, call all the names you want. These young men will play hard. And that's all we can do.
I'm here thinking, Jacob, of a conversation that me and Paul were having this morning about Douglas Langford Jr., the way that the country has been rallying behind this young, inspiring Belizean athlete because of all that he's been able to accomplish at such a young age. And we have other athletes right here that are able to do that as well if we support them. Of course, the opportunities that will be given to them, and by extension, other Belizean athletes as well, I think is what we should be thinking about. And I'm hoping that you're able to acquire the necessary sponsors that you need and the necessary sponsorships that you need to get you to Argentina?
Yeah, I think Douglas' story is heartwarming to me because this is a kid born and raised in Dangriga town, right? And when he left Belize at the age of 14. And when he left, he wasn't no high prospect here. He wasn't even maybe top 20 in our recruitment class, right? And Douglas went to the States, did 1 year and came back and was immediately the best player in Belize. Immediately, after 1 year. And that just shows us that if we give these kids the opportunities, they can really reach their potential. They're very limited in what we can do here, unfortunately. But if we continue to put the platforms for these kids and open these doors, they are able to really showcase what they can do. And Doug is an exceptional example of that. I mean, he's a 4.0 student as well. You know, he got an offer from Yale University. These are barriers that we're breaking, and it's creating more eyes for these young men. But most importantly, it inspires a generation behind them. So now we can see with basketball or with sports, we can accomplish certain things that maybe we wouldn't have without it. And so that is my task, using the sport of basketball to create opportunities for kids. You know, too many times we play the game. As a player myself who used to play, I don't play anymore obviously, but as a player who used to play, we play the game and we give everything to it and we get nothing back. You know, for us, it's to create opportunities from basketball so that it inspires a generation behind them. They can see the benefits. You know, the 30 kids in Belize that get a scholarship to go to school, up to a bachelor's degree, free of cost, through a collaboration with Ministry of Education. These are the things that now parents support their kids. Because now if I support you, I don't have to worry about that bill. You know, so it engages the community, it keeps the young men disciplined, it gives them goals. And for me, that is what is important. More than just bouncing the ball, but bouncing the ball with a purpose and getting life-changing experiences from it.
I think as well, I look at it as an investment because you mentioned something really important. When you realize what sports can do for a generation, a child and a generation, you think of it as an investment later. There's an investment in that person's education, but also the development that they would be able to acquire along with that, the life skills development that they'd be able to acquire, I think is worth also discussing.
I've always said, for me personally, I learned more from basketball than I did in the classroom. The life skills that I learned through basketball is what has excelled me and propelled me in my career, right? So the leadership, the communication, the teamwork, those are things that I translated in the workforce and brought me success. But those things weren't taught in the classroom. Those things were taught to me through basketball. You know, so basketball and team sports on a whole changes lives, and we're just trying to showcase that for these young men and to the Belizean public.
Well, gentlemen, I am among the choir of supporters singing your praises and letting you all know how proud we are of you, and I'm sure my sentiments reflect the sentiments of Belizeans near and far. And we just want to encourage our viewers, whether corporate, private citizens, pledge your support, man. These guys are on the brink of an opportunity, a life-changing opportunity, not only for themselves, but for the nation to be represented at such a high level in basketball. And the doors of opportunities, I'm sure, from this will just bust wide open for this team and these young men.
Now that we've moved our viewers, how can they reach out to you to pledge their support?
Yeah, they can reach out to us through our Facebook page, the Belize Basketball Federation on Facebook. They can inbox us there. They can contact me personally on my cell phone. Would I be direct call or WhatsApp? My number is 634-8645. Again, we just appeal for support. These young men deserved it. These young men earned it. And it's our job to make sure that they go out there and represent us well. And unfortunately, it takes some financial support. And we're asking for that so that these young men can go and fulfill their dreams. And this opportunity is not wasted because of minuscule things that we didn't do our part.
Yeah. I'll also give this final opportunity to ask Devin and Josiah if you have any final words.
I want to say thank you guys for having us. It was really special to me, especially since I've been out here for a couple of days, and I'm only going to be here for a couple of days, so thank you guys.
I just want to say thank you for the supporters, the people that's behind the scenes doing the hard work, giving us this opportunity to go play in Argentina. I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, all right. Well, gentlemen, thanks so much for stopping by. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to be supporting you wherever we are or wherever we're able to view the game when you guys travel to Argentina. And you will be traveling when?
We want to go to Denver this Saturday to train for a week with the new head coach, Milt Palacio. And then we leave from Denver and go directly to Argentina from there. Again, this is based on us being able to raise those funds. So it's tentatively set for us to leave on Saturday.
So it's really just crunch time to get those finances in order.
Right.
All right. Well, all the best. And Paul, that was it. We had a wonderful show lineup, so we want to say, of course, thank you to all of our guests who stopped by this morning. Of course, we had the Commissioner of Police here with us talking to us about his recent appointment as the first Vice President of the Association of CARICOM Commissioners of Police.
We want to say thanks to Digi, as well as Wesley College, as well Wesley High School, sorry, as well as our friends over from the Belize Basketball Federation and the U18 national team.
Wonderful. But also, if you guys were watching the commercials, you would have seen an interesting promo. Paul.
Yeah.
What do we have coming up?
We have KTV Season 6.
Season 6 showing up. And of course, we know that that is a fan favorite. It's a favorite program that we provide here at Great Belize Productions. So that means, if you would have seen the promo, that auditions are officially opening. Definitely stay tuned, because on June 1st and June 2nd, you guys can test those pipes out at our 2-day audition. It's going to be held at the Tavern, and that is, of course, Saturday and Sunday. I believe it begins at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's going to be exciting times. We can't wait. I personally love KTV The Remix, and I know that a lot of you also as well. So test those pipes. We want to hear.
Yeah.
But that's it. We had a wonderful show lineup. We want to say thank you guys for also tuning in with us. It is May the 21st. And if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. And if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram at OIE Belize. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow as you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.